All right, guys, we got some new Marathon news. We got a new video from the developer team talking about the runner shells, the new shells coming out. We're going to react to it, see what's going on. Let's get into the video. Let's get it, baby. Let's get it.
Runner shells is what we're calling the bioprinted bodies that you, the runner, inhabit when you go down to Tau Ceti. Each of our launch shells is really an archetype of gameplay.
So abilities, passives, stat packages married to a very distinct silhouette that then players can look at, 50, 60 meters away and say, oh, I know what that is. I know what that player is capable of, and I can start to think about how to counteract it.
One of the things we really want to do from the build crafting side is making sure that we're providing people ingredients instead of giving them a recipe. Figuring out what you want for your build that is unique, and you do that across cores, you do that across implants, you do that across weapon mods.
Okay, I'm happy they talked about weapon mods. I hope they talk about if we can take weapon mods off guns, because that was something they didn't have in the alpha, which was really annoying, is if you put a weapon mod on a gun, that weapon mod was staying glued to that gun. The only way you can get it off is either you lose that gun in a run or you destroy it. So I hope that's something they talk about here, because it did just mention weapon mods. Hopefully they say something about that.
Cores are powerful standalone perks that can be used in combination with each other to shift the gameplay style of your runner kit. We also want to make sure that there are interesting combinations of things that work together, but they have hooks.
Okay. I saw this in the Vidoc. This could be game breaking, because essentially you just jump off a building into a group of people and you knock all of them. That's what they showed in the Vidoc. I hope it's not that game breaking. Hopefully they show a little bit more on this.
That go out into the other systems, so you can create this like crazy Rube Goldberg
Yeah,
machine.
like that. Like, what the fuck is that, dude?
Depending on your playstyle, if you're like someone who hangs back and likes to snipe, you're someone who likes close quarters combat and you're going to rush in, you're going to want to cater the items that you're finding differently.
The idea there is like, have a broad spectrum that everyone can kind of find a little bit of a home to, and then we're going to build on top of that.
Destroyer. That wasn't this character called Locust in the first test? They changed the name of it? Or is this a new runner shell? It looks the same as Locust though.
Destroyer is aggressive, brutal, whereas a modified futuristic version of the Mjolnir armor from the original trilogy.
The shell is designed to get into the fight as fast as possible and stay there. It comes
Oh,
equipped
no,
with
that's Locust.
thrusters
Yeah,
on
they
its
changed the
legs
name of
that
it.
let
Okay,
sprint
that's
faster,
interesting.
Or you can use them for a quick lateral evade.
A riot barricade so that they can generate presence and they can generate almost like aggro for their team.
Prime ability is Search and Destroy, which activates shoulder-mounted missile pods that fire heat-seeking missiles.
They have a way to lock down targets over sustained fire, which immobilizes them and allows your team to follow up.
An assassin. Yeah, this was Void. So yeah, I think they took all the, I think there's 4 base characters that was in the first alpha test. They took all of them and probably changed the name. I'm assuming, because this is Void. The last one was Locust. Now they changed this to Assassin. The last one was Destroyer. I'm wondering if Glitch is going to be a new one, and I'm wondering if Blackbird is going to have a new name as well.
Our Assassin shell is built for players who like to play slow and quiet. It's very much a classic.
I'm really hoping they show the new
backline
runners, though,
infiltrator. It
because
has
we know about
dive
these guys.
ability that can be used to negate fall damage from any height.
Their tactical ability is invisibility. You pull this shroud of invis over yourself. You can sprint during it, you can mantle during it, but the faster you move, the more visible you're going to become. And if you take any actions, heal, shoot, get shot, you'll reveal yourself for a short duration.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't remember that from the first alpha test, and I might be wrong on that. But in the first alpha test, if you go invisible, it didn't matter if you were running or sprinting away. You stayed pretty much invisible. This, what they just said, is when you're moving a lot, you're not as invisible as opposed to just standing still. I like that. That's good, because Void in the first alpha test was broken. So I'm hoping that they kind of tone back the invisibility in itself, and if the character's standing still, and that's when they're the most invisible. I like that. It's a good change.
Their prime ability sends out this disc. It creates this like plumes of smoke that you can enter into, and then when combined with their passive shroud, they go invisible when they enter smoke. The whole thing here is like be invisible, be sneaky, and then enshroud the world in smoke.
Yeah, like that. Okay, let me rewind that. So you can't see like you can kind of see the outline a little bit, but you can't tell anyone's there if they're standing still.
Shroud the world in smoke.
They reveal themselves. Yeah. Okay. That seems a little bit nuts. That's a little bit too much invis for just standing still. But if they are moving a lot and their invis is toned down, I'm okay with that. That was a little bit nuts. Like you could not hardly see Void at all, or sorry, Assassin. Yeah, and then Recon. Yeah, so they gone through and changed all the names because this was Blackbird.
Originally, Recon was called internally Fun Police. That really is the core kind of fantasy. It's about hunting people down. It's about playing detective. If you want to find all the assassin shells on the map, Recon is the shell you want to use. It comes with a tracker drone that you can toss out a little spider friend that crawls along the ground and will track towards enemies and explode. And that explosion overheats the target.
They can't move, they can't sprint, they're taking tick damage, and they like help you lock down a target so you can pursue them. And for their
Yeah, no, this character was insane in the first alpha test. And depending on how the meta goes, if a lot of people use Assassin, I feel like Recon is going to be like the forefront what most people are going to run to, because that's the only thing that can really counter an Assassin. Assuming the new runner shells we're going to be looking at don't already do that.
Prime. Recon has this really awesome helmet that splits open, and they tap in these cool key codes. It opens up and pulses, and it sends out this like wave that detects both AI and players and marks them for you.
And when you break the shield of somebody as a Recon shell, they leave holographic footprints behind. So even if they run away, you can follow that trail and they'll lead right to them.
And then finally, awareness,
Damn.
where if you get pinged, it'll actually tell you that someone like sees you. You won't know where, but you'll be able to be on high alert that somebody saw you and has marked you.
Yeah, no, this character's insane. This character's actually insane. I feel like maybe in solos it might not get as much play. I'm assuming Assassin's going to get the most looks in solo mode, but I feel like if you're running in a stacked team, you're gonna need at least one person on Recon, like at least one. And then, yeah, Vandal. This used to be Glitch. This is the character I use the most in the alpha test. So I'm interested to see if they change anything with this runner other than just the name.
Vandal is our shell that is, just by its very nature, more agile than our other shells. It has microjets that let it do a double jump. It has a power slide that goes much further than our normal sprint slide.
Their prime overloads their movement system so they can commit and chain all those actions together. They're about getting in and out, causing chaos.
The arm cannon for Vandal unfolds, and you find a big-ass gun barrel inside. You can use it to knock people out of cover. You can use it to knock people off of buildings, which is way more fun than knocking them out of cover.
The number of times we've knocked people off of field maintenance is like, this is a great thing.
Okay, this is our first look at one of the new shells, Thief. Just based off the name alone, I'm assuming this has something to do with loot, but we'll see.
Marathon is a game that is all about finding the best stuff on the map, so we felt like we needed to have a shell that was sort of built for the loot goblin fantasy. That is Thief to a T. Thief's trade ability is X-ray visor, where you flip down your visor, you can see containers through walls, you can see enemies that are within line of sight.
Okay, you can see enemies within line of sight. Okay, so it's not like Recon where you can just ping enemies through walls. You can only highlight them if they're in line of sight. Okay, that's good. But this loot, that's very interesting. This might be a good character for solo mode.
Their prime is a pickpocket drone, where they deploy this like elegant origami mechanicalized butterfly. It has
cool.
like a mechanical whip that it can send out, and that knocks loot out of both players and AI, and then it can suck that loot back up with the same whip. Or you can use it for recon. You can fly.
What the fuck did he just say? Did I see that right?
It has like a mechanical whip that it can send out, and that knocks loot out of.
Yeah, it can literally go over, whip some character, runner, or AI, knock their gun out their hand, and then scoop it up and bring it back to you. What? No, that's actually insane. Oh, that might be infuriating to play against. Like, imagine you're standing back a little bit and you're sniping, and then they just send out a little butterfly drone that comes over and just steals your sniper away from you. Oh my gosh, no, that's disgusting. Oh, that might be really annoying. We'll have to see how that plays.
Both players and AI, and then it can suck that loot back up with the same whip. Or you can use it for recon. You can fly around, you can ping. Those pings are shared to your squad.
The Thief Shell
That's good. That is good. I like that you can use it for your teammates too and give live pings. That's good.
also has a built-in grappling device that is embedded right in the forearm. You shoot out a dart. Mid-flight, it unfolds into this propeller that pulls you along, and you can swing away to safety.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Give the character a little bit of movement. That's good. I mean, we got Strand and Marathon. Let's get it, boys. Come on.
The recharge rate for their grapple and their base handling and stats will go up as you fill the backpack. So the idea is to become a loot goblin, right? Steal as much as you can and get out.
Did I hear him right? Did he just say the more you have in your backpack, the less ability cooldown you have?
The recharge rate for their grapple and their base handling and stats will go up as you fill the backpack. So the idea is to...
Oh my gosh, the more stuff you have in your backpack, the more you can grapple, the more you can use your abilities. That's really cool. I like that. That's a really cool passive ability.
Become a loot goblin, right? Steal as much as you can and get out.
Okay, Triage. This is the other new character. So we're getting 2 new characters. Actually, no, we're getting 3 because they showed off Rook in the Vidoc. Hopefully they go over Rook in this. But Triage, let's see what this shell can do.
The Triage shell is our shell for support players. If you want to keep your allies kicking so they can kick back, we have Triage for you.
They're equipped with these awesome like capacitive gauntlets
cool.
where you activate them and then you can overcharge them and send out these tendrils that then like shock you back to life.
Oh, cool. So it's like a
Their
defibrillator.
tactical ability. They
That's
actually
cool.
have these giant drones attached to the legs and they pull them out. And it's a little buddy. He's got a little face and you give him a high five and send him on his way. And he'll come and hover over your shoulder and provide you with shields and health.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute. That's pretty cool. What does the drone do though?
And send him on his way. And he'll come and hover over your shoulder and provide you with shields and health.
Oh my gosh, so it's literally, it just heals you. Okay, can it heal you mid gunfight though? Like, can you be like in a fight and it's actively healing your shield and health? Because that would be disgusting. Or does it only heal you when you're out of combat? I feel like it's out of combat because I feel like if they did it the other way, where it heals you actively during combat, that might be game breaking and probably not a good idea, but let's see what they say.
Triage is really a combat medic, so we knew we needed to give it an ability that was useful for firefights.
They've got 2 traits. The first one is a trait ability called Battery Overcharge, where they overcharge their capacitive gauntlets, which makes their weapons performance better. And if you're using battery weapons specifically, breaking shields will EMP targets, and that becomes an on-ramp to like a whole new layer of build crafting. And then they have the second trait, Shareware, which is really cool, which is any buddies that have medi drones on them, any consumable you use will get like copied to them. So you kind of almost are this like battle medic that's like constantly running triage on your team.
Okay, so they didn't say if that little buddy heals you during combat, but
Kind of
we did
almost
see
are
some
this like battle
gameplay.
medic that's like constantly
And it
running
looks like his health is going
Yeah,
up while he's fighting, but that could just be because what they were talking about, where he can throw the buddy out, heal himself, and while he's healing himself, the buddy copies what he's doing to his teammates. So that might be what's happening here, and it might not just be passively healing. Maybe you have to do it that way while you're in gunfights. I'm interested that they didn't say whether that is the case. The other ability they showcase where you overcharge your arms to make your guns feel and handle better, that's pretty cool. It's pretty much like Ophidian's. That's really cool.
your team.
Okay, Rook. I'm really interested to learn more about Rook because they really just teased him in the Vidoc. But from what I gathered from the Vidoc, Rook is like an entire game mode in a character where it forces you to solo queue. You join matches late in progress just to get loot, and you're not allowed to bring anything in with you. They didn't, however, say what Rook can do, and I hope that's what they go over right now.
Sometimes you just want to take a breather after a bunch of runs and just kind of go on a run to just see what happens. And Rook is really fun for that.
Picking Rook automatically opts you into queuing in solo.
Yep.
You're able to enter
Yep.
into a match in progress.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you're given a starting kit. You're not allowed to bring anything in. That's almost to your advantage because you risk nothing, and anything you take out is yours to keep.
Instead of focusing on like progression and questing and things of that sort, it's a mode where we make it easy for you to just kind of drop into a match that's in progress and run about and try to scavenge as much as possible and get out with it so that you can populate your vault a little bit more for future runs.
Rook has a tactical ability that lets it blend in with UESC forces. So you activate it,
What?
clears over your face, and you are not perceived by the UESC as hostile. This
Okay, so that's one of the abilities Rook has. That's actually really cool because I remember from the alpha test, this AI does not play around, all right? If you don't treat it with the respect they deserve, they can kill you. So that's actually really cool. That really plays into just getting the loot and getting out, right? Run into whatever you want to. If there's enemy AI there, pop this, you're good, right? Just get in there and get the loot. That's pretty cool.
lets you kind of get in, grab a little bit of loot, and then bail.
One of the things that I've really enjoyed about Rook is the added tension. Midway through a session, even though you've known like a few crews got taken out, or maybe you've taken out crews yourself, you don't know how many new players get injected through Rook.
Ultimately, Rook is a morality.
That's a good point. I didn't really think about that. That is pretty cool. The fact that if you're running as like a 3-stack, right, and you're wiping teams or you're doing pretty good, you don't know how many Rooks have been put into that match. So you don't know how many actual players there are left. That's an interesting dynamic. That's pretty cool.
Test. So you have a couple of options when you see a Rook. Either you're a decent person and you drop them a piece of loot and let them be on their merry way, or you are a monster and you blast them in the face. And I'm not going to say which one I am. I've blasted a lot of Rooks.
Cool. All right, that was really cool. The new shells they showcased, Thief, Triage, and Rook, they look pretty cool. I'm actually really surprised we're getting not just maybe 1 or 2 more runners. We're actually getting 3 new runners on top of the base force. We're going to have 7. The one thing I'll say, and this is something that's really gotten me excited for this game, is back in the alpha test, I really just played with Glitch. I liked her abilities the most. Vandal is what she's known as now. But watching this, like, I feel really excited to play with tons of different characters. Like, there might be a game where I want to play as Recon, or I want to play as Thief, or I want to play as Assassin, or I want to play as Vandal. Like, this has done a lot for me, and it showcased that there's a lot of different play styles that you can play in Marathon, which is always like a really good thing, right? Because you don't want the game to feel so static that people just play the same character over and over and over again. You want there to be a lot of diversity in what characters are being picked. So this little dev insight did a lot for me regarding that. And really, I am really excited for when this game comes out in March. But let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments below. Did this do anything to generate excitement for you? Are you looking forward to playing with any of the new runners? Do let me know. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.